Hey, welcome. If you're new here, my name is James. I work on GitLab. I'm a front-end engineer, and you're watching me do my everyday work. So, um, okay. Um, so we're going to work through my to-do list. That's all we're doing. Okay. So, um, okay, let's start with the reviews from Scott. So Scott is in my team, so it's um, it's got like a priority for my um, review. So this is what I'm going to review first. So I don't know, I think it's a bit smaller. It's a bit big. Let me know if it's too small. Um, but yeah. Okay. So what this merge request does is it adds transition to navigation, user bar, button, and brain logo. I don't know what that means. Okay, so we're just adding a transition with background color, color, border shadow. I don't really want to test this. I just want to, well, I mean, I have to, but I'm just going to check and make sure. What are we watching? Okay, so let's start again. Before, when we click and we move, okay, now what happens when we click and move our. Okay, you see that transition is slight, but it's there. You can see it sort of moving, right? Yeah, it's a lot smoother. I like that. And so, okay, so there's also a transition on the hover state, so it goes in and out. Where this is just like all automatically, straight away, this is highlighted. Yeah, that's great. Cool. So we're gonna check out the branch just in case. Oops. So GitLab. So we're just doing git checkout on the branch. It's a little bit more complicated than that just because of my setup, but feel free to ask if you're interested. Okay, and then we're going to do GTK start. I don't think GTK is running, so this might take a little while. But in the meantime, we can have a look, read the rest of the notes. So probably should have done this first. Use tab and mouse to move around. CSS transition should be the same. Please note that the user bar button, which uses box shadow for insert border, which impacts. What? User bar button uses box shadow for inset border, which impacts the focus ring transition. So focus ring means this is the ring. The focus ring is this. Back to 100%, please. Focus ring is the focus is where the blue is. Hover is here. So user bar button. I don't know what that is. Let's try to find it. So if we inspect this page, we can see this has a user bar button. So it does. Okay, all of these things. So user bar button covers these buttons. That's the first one. It's just for these ones. It uses box shadow for inset borders. What does that mean? So if we have a look at the span, which is the user bar button, box sizing, border box is not relevant. Okay, we can go to computed, so we can only see the ones that are set. Alright, I'm not sure. If you got any ideas, let me know, because I don't know what this means. I can't see box shadow at all. Let's see if GDK is running. You see I got a new URL for this, so I could test one of the Kubernetes merge requests, which you can see in my previous videos if you want. Alright, we'll just give it a minute, but if you got any questions, now's a good time to ask. Okay. Alright, while that runs, we can have a look at the untriaged community requests. So this means if you, as a community member, if you open a merge request, it will go into a document like this, where one of us will go through and make sure that it has these things. The group, so this is part of DevOps Create, and it's part of the group editor extensions. It also needs another thing, which is the type. In this case, it has docs only instead of the type. So this is good, perfect, no problem at all. Now, it looks like this person might be struggling with the issue, but the changes are there, and there's 62 commits. Something might be wrong there, and so might the changes be wrong. Okay, so I'm just going to write a note. May be an issue with your commits. Let me know if you would like help cleaning it up. Happy to do it for you, or show you how to do so. Cool. I'm gonna change my lighting. Just give me 1 second. I remembered I bought another light. I think it will suit me better than the overhead light. Sorry. I don't think you need it. There's enough light. Okay, cool. So this one's done. So we can tick it off. And then this one, create a web app for demonstrating vulnerabilities. Okay. So again, it's got a type feature, it's got a group, it's got reviewers. This is good. Great, I'm gonna leave it alone. So this is like these tasks come up because I'm on a list of merge review coaches. So what that means is and unsubscribe. Did I already unsubscribe as well? Yeah, great. What it means is, once a day that comes up, and oh god, I hope this bloody works. Alright, fine. GDK update. We'll just have to sit and wait for this. Again, if you've got any questions, now's a good time. It'll take a little while. But yeah, I'm interested to hear what you're working on, if you're working on something. Otherwise, I'm just going to go through next steps. trying to get out of the habit of talking all the time, and just trying to tell you when something is urgent. Let me know if that's working for you or not. Do we look at this one? This is from today. The one I just did, that was from yesterday, I think. I wasn't having a great day yesterday, so I didn't get much done. This is already merged, so that's definitely done. And this one, yeah, it's got a group. Has it got a type? No, no type. Show protected branch in branch selector. Yeah, this is a feature, so that's cool. Well done. Type feature. Well done to Stars Tracker. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Great. And it's got a reviewer. Just going to make sure that all yeah, look, great. So this is what happens when you are making a merge request. You should say tag the GitLab bot. You say ready, and you can tag who you want to review. So if you want me to review your work, you can do this. GitLab bot ready at jrushford. Rushford. Yeah. Feel free. Just tell me that you came from this channel. That's all I ask. Okay. And then again. Right. Okay. It's a lot easier to do this everyday stuff when I'm showing you, so I appreciate you being here. Okay, I got updated on this old issue. I'm going through my emails, but I'm not showing my emails on the screen. I'm just unsubscribing here because this has nothing to do with me. I just commented on it some time ago. This also came up in my emails, but I don't know if it's important to me or not. No, it's already merged, so that's fine. Okay, here's another review I'm doing. I have 2 reviews. Okay, so why did I get tagged in this? Okay. Well, I don't know why I was tagged, but I can certainly do it. Okay, so we're tracking invited user when they go through the registration. Oh. Okay, so add tracking event registration submission button on SSO. So when you go to users/sign up, and also in trial registration, it's new. Oh, I can't read this. Add tracking event to registration, submit button, and SSO button on these in order to better identify the invited user. Okay, so tracking is not something that I'm very competent in. What we need to do is, so we can have a look at the changes, but I think it probably needs someone in the tracking area. Alright, so there's a bunch of things happening here. I'm only required to review the front end. There is a back end review here. And auth will also review. So yeah, I just need to make sure that the front end changes are correct. So I'm going to see if my GDK update is finished. Still not. It's alright. Okay. Alright, so if we start having a look at these changes, because they're a bit more complex than Scott's. So here we have, we're renaming auth tracking label to registration tracking label. So what I'd like to know is where else in the code base do we do that? Do we mention this auth tracking label? Actually, this is back end, so I'm going to leave it. Here's front end. This is HTML. So what's changed here is we've added tracking label. Yeah, fine, that's fine with me. Added tracking label. Here we're adding to the button, tracking action, register, tracking label. It's fine with me. That's all correct. If it's being renamed, it's renamed, that's fine. This is a helper, so I don't, yeah, it's not front end. This might be an easy one that we can just tick off. I think it is. It's good so far. Yeah, and this is the spec, which is the test. So I'm going to read this, but it's going to be covered by the backend review anyway. So when we describe registration tracking label, we have trial parameters expected label symbol. Okay. Yeah, I think this is fine. The main thing is that there are tests and the tests are passing. Tests are passing, right? Yeah, all good. Sweet. So I'm not even going to load this one up because it's very straightforward. So okay, so I'm going to do approve. Actually, what I'd like to do here is unassign reviewer James, assign reviewer Yannick, and unsubscribe. Unless I get tagged directly, I don't want to hear updates from this. So what I would like to do is template this, because I'm writing it out all the time. Mac, how to save keyboard shortcut. Oh, that's not useful. How to create. On your Mac, choose Apple menu, system settings, click keyboard, keyboard shortcuts. What's this? Why is this turned off? Should be turned on. Use the keyboard to navigate focus between controls. Use the tab key to move back forwards. Yeah, that should always be on. I don't know why that's not on. Okay, how about this? Text replacement. I want to replace GL approve. GL approve with I don't know if this is gonna work. It's worth a try. Doesn't look like we can add an enter in it. Should be GL approve, GitLab approve. Let's try it. Look at that. Cool. Now, what I'd like to know is in this text replacement, I'd really like to add an enter. So Mac text replacement with enter, new line. You can make multi-line text replace. You just make them both. What? The trick is simple, it just takes a logic leap. You cannot make a multi-line replacement, but you can copy paste one. I did that already, so. Oh, hey, here we go. Option return. Fuck yeah. Okay. Let's see if this works. Okay. So now we try. No. Well, it's faster than before. Still. Yeah, it's not very useful, is it? Okay. It's fine. If you have any ideas for that, let me know. Keen to hear. Alright. So now we just have one more review. We need our GDK test to be running for it. Please, please, please. Is this a problem? Oh my god. Why didn't it finish that? I really hope it's not a Bazel problem because I think it might be. Oops. Fuck me. Alright. No. Okay. GDK. Doctor. I have an idea of something else I can do while it waits to show you. So the doctor is going to see if there's anything that can be fixed in the GDK. Hopefully it works. Alright, here's the problem. Otherwise, should be... Here we go. The following services are not running. It should be. Alright. Oh my god. What we might do is GDK pristine. So we can go help. This is what I want. I'm going to reinstall everything. It's broken because, yeah, we're trying to set up the runner and it's always really difficult to set up your environment and because you only do it one time, you always feel shit at it, so yeah. Yeah, while that's running, there's another comment that I saw on my to-do list. So this is done. No, we haven't done this review. Still waiting for it. Anyway, it's still here. Okay, we can do this one. This is on GitLab UI. It's a different code base, so we can address these concerns. So Andrew Fontaine said we've recently added translation support. I had a look into this and yeah, we need to think about this one. So while this is running, I'm going to open a new window. So this button does new window for GitLab UI. I'm going to check out this branch again if I haven't already checked it out. Yeah, same. Alright, and then so we're going to look at our translation support. So I went through this on the stream the other day, so I'm not going to go through it really thoroughly. I also don't understand it very well, but this might be a problem because the word that we're translating has a plural, and I don't know if that works with this translate helper. But we can have a look. So what I'm looking for is the translate helper. This is the information we're reading, contributing translation. what I'd like to know is like, where does translate come from? Let's transform. Here we go. It's from I18N. So it takes a key and it takes a default value. And then it either returns I18N key or the default value. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to do it in English. If you want to do it in a different language, and you need to provide the template. Okay, let's start writing this as a response. We'll start writing it as a response, and then we'll come back to Austin's message. I'm going to tag my team. So if you tag GitLab or manage foundations, it alerts everybody in foundations, which includes me. And then the next question is Austin saying, I'm noticing a difference in what is announced. Here's what I tried. Type main, 1 result. Type ASDF, no results. Select clear, 5 results. Okay, this is a good point. Austin. Let's show when it first opens. So before we search for anything, it'll tell us 3 results found. Yeah. So what I'd like to know is like, how do we, is it possible to change it for when it's first opened? Because at the moment what we're doing is, yeah, like, it's fine. A drop down with a search. Should it say how many results there are with no search? want to say I can't work it out. I can't work out how to add that, but I do want to say I can't see how to add this. Find how to add this, how to add that, or if it is possible. Okay. Great. Yeah. Thanks. Okay, here we go. Get a technical writer review for changing the MD file, but I was wrong. Thanks for the review anyway. Okay, cool. That's good. What else we got to do while we wait? Successfully ran GDK pristine. Great. GDK update now, please. Okay. Oh, look at that. I can also ask Austin about this. Maybe we should get some music on this channel, huh? If you got any recommendations, let me know. I imagine that is it is supposed to show abbreviations. Cool. Okay, we can check on our GDK updating. Still going. There's another issue I was going to talk about. I think my Bluetooth just dropped. Does anyone else get this issue where your Bluetooth just drops on a Mac? I don't know what's going on with it. Come on. Great. Okay, still loading. Yeah, there's something else that I was tagged on that I want to do. Why was I tagged in this? I didn't need to be. Okay, I'll just do this one off screen and make sure it's fine, because I think it's confidential. It's just milestone tracking. It's just so we can talk quietly as a team. All right. Okay, well, if you've got no questions, I'll move on. Okay, well, sorry, I'll just be a sec. I don't know why I can't find it. There was an issue that was commented on. But I can't find it. Okay. I don't know where it's gone. I'm sorry. Okay, let's just find the issue. What I want is the ally tasks. It's It's the Allies issue board. This is the issue. I don't know why I just didn't look for issues that I put my name on. So there's a comment here that says this issue is set to true, opposite of what we have now. I misread the double negative. All good. So what we're going to do is, so no wheel is false by default. We want it to be true by default. This is a GitLab UI issue, so then we can do this on GitLab UI without having to wait for it didn't work. Okay. Well, this isn't right. I don't know what to do next to fix it. Reconfigure, I guess. And then GDK update. Sometimes you can get real stuck on these. Just takes time. Yeah, so then no wheel prop. Let's look for it. First we want to create a merge request. And in GitLab UI, we're going to check out the new branch. Yarn start dev, I think. Yarn start maybe. Yeah, great. So somewhere in this file there is the no wheel prop, like this. Okay, and the file that I found was this form input. So what we wanted to say is whenever we use form input in GitLab UI, we want to make sure that the GitLab form input, this one, so this is GitLab form input.js, and you'll see that maybe what you'll see is that it imports B form input. So B stands for bootstrap. And here are the props. No wheel, make prop, prop type boolean, false. Okay, we want this to be true. And I think maybe that's it, huh? Who knows? No, this is the node module for Bootstrap view for the form. So that's not right. But when this form input is being used, which will be like a B form input, we want no wheel equals true. Why doesn't it like this? Should we go for before V on? And before V bind, I guess. Should be hyphenated, of course. Alright, and then we're going to read this issue one more time because I already got it wrong once. The no wheel prop disables scroll to change the current value for a number and a date field. Cannot think of a time where that is ever useful behavior. So it makes sense the default to disable by default references. So I think these are just saying like, don't do that, it's dumb. But why doesn't this work? Alright, let's read this one. You probably don't need input type number. Okay. Turns out, if you're using number on the account field, it changes the behavior. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, yeah, I think we can just add it on the form input. Yeah, look, this is our form input. And we're going to add no wheel is true. Okay, so we're going to test out this form input. Here. So this is GitLab UI. Form import. So if we put a number, where before this was true, so it's just, oh gosh, I'm just going to cut it. Okay, so here's a form import. We give it a number. Okay, this only is a problem for a number, and this form import looks like a number. Sorry, it looks like just for text, but that can't be right. What if it's a number? Okay. What's this? Do not including trim or number props. So let's look at the props here. We've got width. That's it. So I think what it's saying, my understanding of this is not for numbers. It's for strings. Like, when it emits the update, it's expecting the event and the property is always a string. Okay, strange. What if it's a number? I guess we'd translate it to a number. Okay, so my understanding from this is everything that goes into the B form import is directly as a string, but we can test this quite easily. We can say I say quite easily, but what I want to do is store as a global variable. Yeah, so it's of type text, which is a good point. So even as a number, it's still a type of text. And there's no way to make it a number. It's always a string. Right? Input text. Cool. Okay, so let's start to write some notes. Text or string? Type text. So if we look at this default, and we inspect it, okay, and then the other question was so I'm going to write the notes on this. So we'll add the image. And now in the date picker, this also supposed to have a scroll. The snow wheel prop disables scroll for a number and a date field, but never use a date field, right? Like if we have B form input for a date, we use a date picker. Here's a slot. Optionally, input the display to bind the date picker to. Okay, so if we have a look at our date picker, we want to know, are we using Bootstrap at all? I don't think we are. Shell form input. So it's not even giving it a type of date. Okay, so I want to link to here. Oh, I want that to be the text, not the rest of it. Anyway, looks like GL form input automatically sets the type as text. Oh, not form input, just GL input. GL input. What? GL form input. Yeah, what's your problem? Green. No, that's fine. Also does not have any props. To use as a number, even when used in the date picker, it uses it is it I don't know, the rendered HTML is also type text. And you can see it in the date picker. Here, it's still text. And we can see here, if we inspect this, this is type of text. And we're going to add that screenshot. So the question is, do we add here? No will. True. All form input like text. Okay, now I'm gonna take a break and make a coffee. Before I do that, I'm just gonna see what's happening here. So this is still not working. So what I'm gonna do is try to reset my YAML. So this is all my settings. I don't think we actually need it to have anything. So then I think what we can do is GitLab reconfigure. This should be quick. Yeah, because just going back to the default. Look at this, just doing it, great. And now I'm going to do GDK update. I'm going to reinstall everything. And while that goes, I'm going to go make a cup of tea. So I'll be right back. If you have any questions, now's the time to write them out. Thanks. Sorry, before I do take this break, I just want to show you this answer already from Dan about this, like, what is this SR? He says, it's at the start of the recording, can you leave your mouse there a bit longer? SR, screen reader, how cool. Alright, cool, I'm going to take a break, I'll see ya. Hey, welcome. Let's see if GDK is running. Yeah, when I left, I asked if you have any questions. If you have any questions, now's a good time to ask. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep moving forward. Okay, so you can see that we have the GitLab URL is back to what it was, and it looks like a lot better. So then we can test this merge request. This is the merge request we're testing. It adds the transitions. So the next thing we need to do is check out git checkout, because we've already checked it out before. GL checkout. What? Oh, come on. Oh, this is on the GDK. Sorry. No, we're in the GitLab development kit. Oh, how confusing. Oh my gosh, I hope that didn't cause all our problems. Ugh. Anyway, it's back to normal now. Or it's back to the default at least. Oh my gosh. I think I've checked it out before, in which case we should be able to do git checkout. Yeah. Good. Cool. Okay, so now to test this, well, the thing we want to keep in mind when we're testing is what Scott said about please note that the user bar button uses box shadow for insert border, which impacts the focus transition ring. Cool. Alright, cool. That's an interesting problem. I haven't seen that before. What's that? Okay. So we're going to close GitLab UI because we're not using that anymore. So now we're going to do GDK kill. We're going to kill everything. And it's going to ask yes or no. We're going to say yes. GDK start. Why isn't this working? I want to sign into GitLab workflow because it looks like we're not getting GitLab AI. Oh, it's just because it's not working in this language. That's fine. Cool, it's working. Alright, give it a few minutes and we'll try again. In the meantime, one thing I want to do is so when I am streaming, one problem I have is I might accidentally show you a confidential issue, and I want to change that. So what I want to do is something like I want to set a streaming mode. So I might just add a like in the preferences, because this preferences is for colors, highlighting, keyboard shortcuts. So what I'd like to do is a button that says activate streaming mode, right? And it should say, it should be very clear that we're streaming. And it should hide all of the confidential issues. Because if you're streaming, you don't want to see confidential issues. And if you're not streaming, you want to turn off streaming mode, right? So maybe we could set a status of streaming because what happens if you set a status as 1, there's some real clever thing here that it says if your look, microphone is perfect, public address loudspeaker, that's what I want. Streaming. So what I'd like to do is when I'm on this streaming, actually, you know what? Yeah, we can just clear status after 30 minutes. Easy. So then whenever I'm streaming, I want to clear the status afterwards. And what I want to do is when it's streaming, I want to hide the confidential items, but also doesn't need to be that. I'm going to add, I don't even know what this status is for. So I'm going to add my Twitch. Maybe someone will find me. But yeah, so I'm doing normal work, but right now what I'd like to do is work out, can I add a streaming mode so that it hides everything? So, oops, it's not right. Look at that. So now if you look at my profile, you can see I'm streaming when I am streaming. But what I want to do is I want to say, like, when I'm streaming, hide all of the hide all the confidential buttons, issues. Now, I think this needs a little bit more thought. Like, like, because it's not obvious how to do that. But if you say, I'd really like to do this. So, yeah, I want something that checks my status. So I know in the code base there is something that checks the status. Because what I can do is I can set my status as like the number 2, and I'm never going to have more than 2 merge requests come through. So yeah, come on a journey with me. Let's try to find out, how do we read the status? Like the user status maybe. So what I want to know is, how does the user status work at GitLab, and how do I use it so that I can say, if it's streaming, hide confidential. Get user status from REST API. Here we go. What is? So maybe here I can get the user status. In the user cache. So where is this used? Here's an example. In this header, we get the user cache, and we retrieve the user cache retrieved by ID. But instead of get the user cache, we want to get the status of the user. So what I want to know is retrieve status by ID. This. Okay, so this is how when we set the status, that's how we're getting the current status. Here's the user. Okay, this is the missing catch is intentional. Okay. So user popover spec. This is a test. User cache spec. Okay, so the only place this is used, user popover, is on user popovers .js, I think. So to get the user information, we can retrieve the username, we can retrieve by ID, we can update by ID, we can retrieve the status by ID. What I want to do is retrieve the status by ID. So anywhere that has confidential, I want to remove the status, right? So, or not remove the status, sorry, check the status. So the way we do for confidential, this seems dangerous to try to do it on a stream, but there is a delay, so I can always turn it off if I accidentally show you something confidential. Okay, cool, great. So in this board, we only show the icon if it is confidential. So if item.confidential is true, then show this icon, which is like, don't show it. But what I'd really like to do is hide the whole thing, or black it out and say like streaming mode on. Right, so let's find an example. So we're gonna, is GTK working yet? Not yet. I think we killed everything and we started it. Come on. GTK start. I don't know what this means. Ugh. Error in Webpack compile. Details follow below. Okay, Webpack compile has broken. I'm once again going to run GTK update. And I can read about how confidential things work in the meantime. So what I want to do is just for showing confidential items. So this is how we check if it is. What I want is the what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a shit MR that hopefully works, and then what I'll do is I'll ask my colleagues to see if they have any better ideas, because I'm not sure how to do this. So what I'm trying to do is make a streaming mode where confidential items are not shown. So something like this. So what this does is it adds an icon if, if this, if confidential is true. And how do we tell if confidential is true? It is, I don't know where that's coming from. We can find it. Find this. What? It's never going to be confidential because there's no confidential listed. What? Is this wrong? Okay. I don't know if this is a bug or not. What I'm going to do, because I keep falling down these rabbit holes, I'm going to copy this relative path and I'm going to add it to my follow-up doc. In my follow-up doc, I'm going to add it here, and I'm going to go through this confidential isn't set anywhere. Okay, so we're going to have a look at another one, issue popover. Great. So what this means is we have here we have if, else, show details. So else if, okay, v if we're loading, we show the loader. Otherwise, if it's not loading and show details is true, we're going to show these details. And if it's confidential, we're going to show this icon. So what I want to say is something like so issue is a prop, so this is going to have to be a computed property, I think. So if not streaming mode, if streaming mode is on, hide it. Oh, sorry. Hey, I missed I missed your messages. I'm sorry. I need to get better at. Hey, so I'm. What's coding? Is that what you're asking? Okay. What is coding? Maybe it's bot. Fuck. What are we doing? So computed is. So I want to say like show confidential. Yeah. Okay. So now what this is going to do is we can have a computed property to say if we're going to show it or not. And what are we going to show is this whole section. Yeah, sorry I missed your messages, Clara. You're asking what I'm coding? I'm currently working on GitLab.com. Yeah. Okay, else if show details and show confidential issues. And then show confidential issues will be what I want to do is show this issue dot confidential. So if this is confidential, doesn't matter if it's confidential or not. Yeah, it does. So if it's confidential and not in streaming mode. Okay. Yeah, so that's not right, but it's pretty close. What we want is, look at that. That's what I want. I want a I want it on the general. I can't remember what this is called on the GON, because that's the way we do it for feature flags. It makes sense to do it like a feature flag, maybe. Yeah, if you have any ideas, there's something I'm interested in. So if this is the case, then we add a feature flag to say we're streaming. And we just turn on and off the feature flag like we do any other feature flag. If the feature flag is on, we're streaming. If the feature flag is off, we're not streaming. But it would be really easy to leave your machine in feature flag in streaming mode. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna add a feature flag, right? So one way I can do this is I can look at a previous MR where we add a feature flag, or I can look at the docs feature flag GitLab. I think this will be misusing it, so maybe it shouldn't. Yeah, it should be in the settings, in your preferences, I think. So then we need to, instead of checking the user status, I want to check the user's preferences. Maybe we can start with this. If enabling of keyboard shortcuts is on, because keyboard shortcuts is going to be active on every single page. Okay, so this is where I want to add my button in the Haml. In the behavior. So it should be the last one, I guess. Maybe after this, because it's tick box. Yeah. So this is part of the form group, its own form group. Oops. So I want to add another one. I can't do it yet because we're still updating, but we can keep it in mind. Yeah, let's undo all the changes here. Don't save that. It was a good idea. It's good exploring. Okay, still didn't work. So now if we do GDK start, and we cross our fingers real tight. Everything says on, so that's good. Oh yeah. Great. Okay, let's review. Let's review this. All right. So I'm just going to check this out and make sure that it works the way I want it to. Git checkout the way I expect it to. Okay. Sure. I want to mark this somehow. I'll find it again. It's fine. So now what I need to do is see, is there a transition on this as expected? Now transitions can be really difficult to notice, so what I'm going to do is slow them right down to 10%. See? Look at that. There's a transition. There's no transition here. But there is a transition here. And why not? Let's see if we can work it out. So then we can give Scott a more detailed answer. Right, here is our anchor tag. And we want to look at its computed properties. you can see all the animations are down to 10%. Okay, it doesn't have a transition. Maybe it's just these two. So let's have a look at Scott's merge request. Okay, so what he's done is in the super sidebar, he's added a transition to align with the GitLab button hover focus translation. So this should work on the brand logo and the user bar button. Let's have a look at this code. Oh, come on. I just want to search for this. Okay. Oh, because we're still in master. Well, that's good. Good to know that the transitions actually weren't working. Oh, let's refresh the page. Okay, this is the same Webpack problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to do GDK kill. Yeah, and then we're going to do GDK start. The reason why we're doing this is because the reason why we do this is because like Webpack might be running and then we change the configuration and then it doesn't reset. So it needs to be destroyed and then properly restarted. Alright, let's just wait for GitLab to boot up again. But there should already be a transition in the super sidebar. This one. Bottom scrim wrapper. Okay, there's a bunch, right? Here we go. So the notification dot has a transition. Loading has a transition. Prefers reduced motion or preference. Okay, so 4 months ago, Scott did transition, opacity on hover, which this is the transition on hover. I guess it's on, okay, it's on a bunch of things. I'm gonna scroll. Okay. Where is Scott's one? This new one. Line 278. That's not this. I don't have the changes. What's happening here? Oh my gosh. Two seven three. Well, that's super strange, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to try and delete this branch in case I accidentally made a I accidentally made this branch. So what happened was, instead of checking it out, I made a new branch. And then I can't see any changes on it. So instead of check out, I'm going to do and delete it. So branch, I'm going to delete it locally. Branch, capital D. Sorry, can't delete it because we're on it. Fair enough. Check out master. Come on. And then we delete. And then we'll check it out with GL checkout. And now we'll do GTK, kill, and restart. See if we can just restart it. A lot of problems with this today, but that's okay, it happens. All right, let's see. Okay. Still have a webpack compile problem, so we're going to do GTK kill and GTK, yeah, start. And we're going to wait a few. Oh, what colour light do we need, huh? Is that good? Fuck, it's bright. Shit. Apparently that's 19%. Candle, 1%. Alright, well I fucking hate that. Jesus Christ. Anyone know how to set up a light? I know this is boring, but there's no one here anyway. Yeah. Alright. Well, I'll call it a day, I guess. Alright, well, thanks for joining.